just like
Oh,
hello, hello. How you
what's
doing?
cracking? Good. How are you?
I'm doing fab. I'm sitting here drinking my drink, thinking about
Drink.
all the weight I've gained since March.
Tell me about it. I'm feeling the same. Yes, it's sort of like, oh, there's more of me than there should be. How about you?
Yeah, I feel like I got a badonkadonk going on back there. I think Sir Mix-a-Lot would be all up in this. Baby got
Yes.
some
No,
back. Front! I got
Yeah,
both!
no, I've definitely put on a couple of tires. So far, they seem to be like racing bike tires. It's not like a Tonka truck tire that I'm carrying around quite yet.
Yeah,
Getting there.
that's my rear, though. My rear is Tonka trunk, I think. My front is bicycle. My rear is Tonka trunk. And my upstairs is Tonka trunk as well. So I'm a Tonka Tonka. I'm a double Tonka.
On the upside, though, at least your cleavage looks good. Full advantage.
Yes. It's just I'm so sick of wearing bras though, so I just stopped. It's
Okay, fair.
like, I now I've graduated into wearing the light sports bra camisole type because I just can't bother with the cups and wires, man. I just can't do it.
No, I agree with you on that one. Yeah.
They're so
So
uncomfortable and,
Yeah. No, I weighed myself the other day and I'm like, oh, right. I have never been this heavy before in my life. Fuck.
This isn't the heaviest I've ever been, but it's the heaviest I've been in a very long time. So it's like time to put away.
Damn you, Cobb. Damn you.
And you know, I told you I turned part of my kitchen into a gym, and it looks at me every time I go eat. I'm like, yep,
Yeah.
there it is.
Mm-hmm.
I need to hit that.
Yeah.
Hello, who's in the chat? Let me see. We got some folks in the chat tonight. We got Geo Sam, you. We got Stuttering Chris. How you doing? He calls us queens. We are empresses.
I love Chris. Chris is the
nice.
best.
We've got Jov. What's up, Jov? Gonna go for it. What's going on? Let's see.
Did you say hello to Greyheart Labs? Maybe I missed that.
Greyheart Labs. Yes, they popped in too. So hello to them. How are you? Let's see. Titan. How's it going? How's it going, Titan? What's up?
I'm starting to think about maybe making a joke with Titan Uranus. Maybe like butthole. Is that okay? Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah, you can say that.
Oh, Nacha just dropped in. Hey, Nacha.
Hey, Nacha. What's going on? So Titan Uranus. That's, I would think, more of like a booty plug or.
That's true. That's true.
One way you can tighten things with exercise, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. That's also.
You got the sphincter going on.
Yep.
But then that's epithelial lining. There is some, tighten a bit with the movement of the poo as it goes through. That peristaltic movement that's like to squeeze all the way through.
Peristaltic is an awesome word, by the way, don't you think?
Yeah, it is. Peristaltic is very cool.
It's just, there's something very nice about that. Peristaltic.
See, I always thought the word flatulence was such a pretty word for such a strange meaning.
Yeah.
Flatulently,
There is a fantastic word. It's calipigian, and it means to have nicely shaped. So it's a calipigian means to have nicely shaped buttocks, or not. It's not a verb. It's an adjective.
Okay. Well, Titan says you should make cousins Eaton and Puck are. Booty joke's funny.
All right.
Oh my goodness. So today, I don't know about you, but on the Facebook has been sending me to get up off of my lazy lard ass and exercise. Yes. And some of them I'm like, hormone-based diets, when your hormones are out of whack, are you a pear shape? Are you an apple shape? I'm like, I'm an hourglass shape, and none of these have anything to do with me. But the whole idea of like a hormone-based diet, have you heard about that?
No, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's got about as much scientific backing as anti-vaxxers.
Yes. Hello, Mr. Shadow Kitty. Yes, and that's true. And so I was looking into that and trying to basically, they're trying to sort out what hormone is causing you to gain weight, and then you modify your eating based on the amount of hormone that you have, whether it's cortisol or, or whatever. I'm like, I don't know that that's how any of this works. So I haven't found anything that supports that idea to where you gain weight is supposed to be indicative of how you're supposed to eat. And I'm like, why not just go to an endocrinologist?
No, I have heard that if you are highly stressed, cortisol levels go up, and therefore it is linked to weight gain. Mm-hmm. I've heard that a high cortisol level is linked to weight gain, but I don't think you really have much of a choice. to be honest with you. I think it's just like genetics just goes, that's where they go.
True. And I know that a high elevated amount of cortisol and stress increases inflammation, and that's part of the reason why people gain weight. There's also water retention and all that stuff. I'm pretty certain to have all of that because I have crippling anxiety. So it's fantastic. You have a panic attack, it's fight or flight for like 2 hours, and you're just sitting there going, I'm just breathing right now. But it feels like you ran a marathon and you didn't burn any calories and you're exhausted. So it's like, I can't imagine. I'm not always in a constant state of stress, but if I was, that's one of the things that causes inflammation. Mr. Shadow Kitty says it's like eat right for your blood type. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. I mean, and to be fair, people are very different. Some people do metabolize certain macronutrients a bit better than others. Know that that's a thing that happens. But the best way to sort that out is to talk to your doctor or an endocrinologist or somebody like that who can sit there and run blood tests on you. But trial and error. That's really what it comes down to. Now, you don't want to sit and eat Snickers bars all day. You really don't want to do that because there are links to different issues associated with high intake of sugar and certain fats, sort of thing. But as far as lowering your simple sugar intake, when they think of carbs, lower sugar intake. We're getting lag in the chat. I don't know what it is, but for some reason, and I've tried a new router. I have a new gaming router. It's plugged in directly to the internet, but my kilobytes per second keeps dropping. I'm going to see if I can close things and look it up later. I'm going to just close out a lot of Windows. Helps because I'm not using hardly any CPU.
While you're doing that, I do actually want to talk. So, I part of the reason why I decided to start my degree, I became interested in gut microflora, microbiota, and there is a lot of research coming out saying that your gut flora actually dictates what sort of foods you enjoy eating and you want to eat. So when there are bacteria that rely on sugar to multiply within the gut, and they release hormones, certain hormones that trigger sugar cravings. A lot of people, when you start eating a lot of sugar, it's really hard to break the habit of eating sugar. Part of the reason why is that your gut flora is causing you to want to eat these bacteria. These bacteria wants you to eat sugar.
Right.
So that's why the first couple of weeks of you eating, going on to a new diet, you really have a lot of sugar cravings because the balance within your gut is like used to your old diet, and now you're sort of needing a new diet, and all of a sudden you go a bit nuts because your gut, which has actually got some of the biggest blood, your body's gut, apparently
a huge blood supply, that sort of thing.
Huge blood supply, yeah. Apparently the microbes in your gut produce a lot of a lot of hormones as well, or hormone equivalents. So that's why when you have a bad diet, you feel like crap, your moods, a lot of the gut imbalances does cause your brain, and there's a lot of interaction between the two organs. Not that your digestive organ is considered one organ, but your brain and your gut, and it's very interesting, very, very complicated. But I do know that if you have a high sugar diet, one of the reasons why it's so addictive, sugar is so addictive, is because the flora in your gut requires you and tells your brain, I need sugar. So that's why the first couple of weeks in a new diet makes you is really, really difficult. And then once you get past that, I'm really, really, really difficult phase of not eating any sugar or any high processed carbohydrates. And then you start getting into like things like that. That's when you start to calm down after about 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks of hell, but you get over it. So,
oh my goodness.
yeah, it's really interesting stuff.
It sounds pretty interesting. I know that microbe are imbalanced. If my gut flora is imbalanced, it's just a freaking nightmare for me. So oftentimes I have to take probiotics. Also related to that, back in March, I started taking melatonin, and then I quit about a month and a half, 2 months ago, because I had horrible stomach issues, and I had no idea it was the melatonin. At first I thought maybe it was the Rona, and I thought, oh my gosh, but it was terrible. I was waking up in the middle of the night, and I was just like, it was so unpleasant. It was like, I don't even want to get into details or anything, but I changed what I ate. I started taking probiotics more, and I thought, man, this is insane. And I went to the doctor. They gave me some antibiotics because they thought it was bacterial. It was the freaking melatonin. 5 milligrams is way too much.
Also, melatonin has actually been linked to having nightmares. So,
okay.
yeah.
Oh, I have those anyway, so.
Fair enough. But just be aware if you do take melatonin and you have some really vivid nightmares, just be aware that that's one of the side effects. So
there you go. All right. So how about we discuss a couple of the things that have been, frickin' Facebook ads. They've been throwing these out at me. There's something called the DB method.
DB?
DB. D as in dog, B as in boy. So sorry, I clicked the wrong thing.
That's okay. No one needs to see my face anyway.
Of course they do. DB method. This has been on my Facebook, just like, look at this, so many times. I have caved once and bought a thing off of Facebook, or for a particular exercise thing, and I still use it. I actually like it, and I'll talk about it in a minute. But this is the DB method, and so this is what it is. Okay, let's see. You grab. Let me see if I can find it. Where's a good video? Okay, so you just grab this thing, and you just squat. You hold on to these handlebars. And you just squat, and you go up and down, up and down, up and down. So it's like you're squatting, but you got handlebars.
Right. That's not going to destroy people's knees at all.
Oh my God. I can't, I have an old ACL tear in my knee, and I'm like, I can't do a certain type of squat. And I got it in a really cool way, guys. You want to know how I got my ACL tear?
You were walking down some stairs?
I stood up and turned sideways. Pop went my knee.
I tore the labrum in my hip by stretching, so that's.
Hi, Harmonica Man. Hi, Dynacat Lesme. What's up, Pocus Focus? How y'all doing? So this is like, I guess the idea is most of the resistance, you're sitting on a thing, so maybe it doesn't mess up your knees so much with the angle that you're at. I guess leverage is a thing. But it's just like you're just bouncing up and down essentially. So I can't help but think they're saying that this is supposed to it says it relieves pressure from your knees and your lower back, but it's supposed to just work your butt. I don't know how, because I took anatomy. I had a year of that. And I'm like, okay, that'll probably work your quads, and your hamstrings and your butt muscles. But I can't imagine, I would just think you could just go and you could probably replicate this particular movement by wearing like a weighted vest and just like going outside, if you got a fence or something, if you got a fence, you can go in your outside, prop your feet up against your fence, or, and just squat.
Yeah, or you could just squat. That's also another thing. That kind of reminds me of this really horrible uh, ab machine. It's like ab swing or something like that. And basically, you hold on to the top of it, and then you swing your butt from side to side. And I'm thinking, like, okay, yeah, that would work your abs, but on the same token, it would be absolutely horrendous for your lower back if you don't know what you're doing. And I would say about 85 to 90% of people doing that would not be able to, would be doing it in a horrendous way. Like it would, I'm just looking at it and I'm just like, that's going to cause so many lower back issues. And the reason why it would cause so many lower back issues is because if you don't concentrate on keeping your back straight, it's very easy for your back to kind of collapse in, and strengthening your obliques.
Your side abs or your obliques.
Your obliques. Yeah. So strengthening your obliques with your lower back sort of hooked too far backwards, it's just going to be like, it's going to fuck your lower back. And it's, and so I'd be very, very, very surprised if no one got hurt. They're like, oh, it's safe and stuff. And I'm like, no.
I tried really hard. Okay, so there's a similar machine. It's not even a machine. It looks like a steering wheel. Okay, and it's weighted and it has a weight in the middle. And the video is this guy going, and he's like turning and he's like jerking it up really hard. I'm like, somebody's gonna throw their back out. And I couldn't find the video again, but this was an ad on Facebook. This guy's like, you want a really good workout? And he's just like jerking this steering wheel looking thing. It's a weighted wheel, and he's just like throwing it around. And I'm just like, dude, you're gonna get a hernia.
You're in trouble. You're in trouble.
He almost looks like Donald Trump dancing.
That's an image that I don't need. Thank you for that. I really appreciate that image.
Oh gosh. Hi Rain or Shine. How you doing? Rain or Shine asks, will fiber gummies work? I've done fiber gummies before, and the idea is you eat those and it's supposed to make you feel full because it swells in your stomach. And my mind is like, well, I'm really hungry. I should eat more of those. That was a very bad idea.
If anything, you want to eat something like psyllium husks. I mean, they're just hideous. They're just so gross. I suppose you could probably like mix them in with like, muffin or something, a low sugar muffin. But psyllium husks do expand in your stomach. And so if you can handle it, if you can handle the texture and the flavor, you can just put it in some water and just down it. And that'll help bulk out and they'll expand, and it's insoluble. So it doesn't have all that many calories, and you'll just walk around just feeling full and shit.
Yes. Particularly the last half of that. I ate quite a few. So before I went back to grad school, I was like really trying to focus, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to eat these fiber gummies. Guys, do not do the fiber gummies, because I ate too many, and I ate too many. And so I was teaching labs at the time. And so I was walking through this lab and my stomach felt like it felt like I was going to give birth to like an alien, like just a burster. And I'm just like, I am in so much pain right now. I hurt so bad. And I had a person that, another TA at the time was in the next lab over. And I'm like, I don't know what's wrong. I had no idea what was wrong. And it was so painful. And then I'm like, I know what it is. I think I ate too many of those gummies. And it's so bad because you can't There's no relief until you finally get to poo. And then it's not happening right away. So you're in pain the entire time until you finally get to have a bowel movement. And you're like, oh my God.
This is the best thing ever.
I heard so bad. Y'all don't do the gummies unless you really, just a cup one. Yeah. Don't do that many.
That kind of reminds me of the Haribo sugar-free gummy bear. Have you heard of the story?
That's the Haribo gummies. The sugar-free ones. They're like, this is explosive diarrhea.
People are like, these are demon bears. What have they done?
Oh my God.
If you want to chuckle, go on Amazon. Look up gram. I think it's 5 kilogram. Maybe it might be 5 pound. Because America, would you go onto frickin' metric, please? Anyway, but if you just want a good giggle, just Google the Haribo sugar-free gummy bears, and yeah, it will. It's a few hours of entertainment, that's for sure.
Gosh. I think I pulled up the correct one. Yeah, I think this is it, guys. So let me pull this up here. So I think this is the correct one. The Haribo Gold Bears. Let's have a look at the ratings, I guess. I've had a long battle. Here, let me see if I can blow this up.
Focus fiber supplements throughout the day. Don't take all at once.
Yeah,
probably a good idea.
That is a good idea. It got too big. Okay, I've had a long battle with constipation due to my extremely poor diet of burgers and pizza. I bought this bag of gummy bears hoping that it would help me lose a little weight. Little did I know I would piss food out of my ass. I tried 260 pounds to 215 pounds in just a few months using these little beauties. I don't have a sense of smell, but the birds flying by the windows would literally fall down in seas. If you want to turn from morbidly obese to just moderately fat by these beauties, they will instantly drop the meal you just ate into a toilet bowl. That will turn the kid cleaning the restroom you choose to drop your deathly deposit at suicidal. There's a lot of buffering. I'm sorry. My internet's sucking at the moment, I think. Hopefully Peter gonna go for it will help me a bit with that. I think it's a Streamlabs issue maybe. But yes, that's the Haribo stuff. How fun.
It was good. It was good. There was one story I remember where it was like they bought them for a girl's sleepover party.
Oh, okay.
And one of the girls was like, is that the not like the sugar-free ones? And they're like, oh yeah, why? And she's like, don't. And people are like, what are you talking about? And we're eating it. And she's like, ring my mum. And then they found out why she wanted to go.
Oh man.
Yeah, no, definitely strongly recommend reading some of those reviews.
Those are pretty funny. Pretty funny. Head Cynic, how are you doing? They say part of my COVID diet involves eating plenty of beans, which have a lot of diet. Yes, they do. I'm losing weight on it too. Yay. Good job there. Hey, Aunt Jer.
Hey, how are you?
Oh, trying to catch up. All right, so caught up on the chat. Okay, there's another thing that I've seen. I took pictures of it, so I can remember what the names of the things are because, my brain does not always want to work sometimes. Okay, there's something called Vitagene. Have you heard of Vitagene?
No.
Vitagene essentially is a DNA test to determine what kind of diet and exercise you need.
Well, that sounds bullshit.
Yes, Here's a problem, particularly with that. And I had a Nature paper. I had to close out all of my windows. But Nature actually released an article about problems with accuracy regarding these DNA tests. And so there's false positives for certain things. And they're actually saying if you're trying to see if you have a particular, gene for a disease, just go to your doctor. And if you're in the US, and you have your insurance, you'll usually cover that. And you're already paying for your insurance. So, get some genetic testing through your doctor because they are required to keep your records private through HIPAA laws. These other companies, they don't have to do that. You can, if you don't opt out, they can use your information. This is pretty interesting. So Vitagene, let me see if I can pull them up. Where are they? Where are they? What will it show? There's so many reviews of it too, and a lot of people are saying it's bunk. But this is what it looks like. So I'm going to pull this up right here. Results you can trust. And so the whole idea is they're like, well, we take your genetic code and then we figure out if you should be on like the paleo diet or if you should do like a keto diet or that sort of thing. And so what they do is they look at your composition is what they call that. Okay. And so differences in your DNA called variants and can indicate certain traits related to nutrition, exercise, and supplementation, as well as speak to your ethnic composition. And so all they do is they run a genetic test and try to figure out what your nutrition plan is and what your exercise plan should be.
Okay.
It's pretty much crap. There was a guy who took one of these tests who is actually an athlete type. And it was like, you shouldn't, your caffeine or coffee is bad for you. And you respond poorly to it. And he's like, no, I don't. And so it's like kind of hit or miss. And he managed to lose about 3 pounds in 6 weeks. But it really didn't have anything to do so much with that. So much as just eating less and exercising. So
yeah. That seems to be the general consensus of just eat less fruit, veggies, try and stay away from the simple carbohydrates and do exercise. That just seems to be it. Also, don't drink your calories. That was something that don't drink your calories.
Yeah. But I really like my vodka.
Yeah, I've kind of been going through like a bubble tea phase as well. And they're like 1,500 kilojoules, which is probably half the reason why I'm gained so much weight.
Well, I mean, I also like candy sometimes. So
I like it all the time. Yeah. My diet's just gone out the window since COVID.
Yeah, I've been eating way more carb stuff like pizza, and I'm like, buttered toast is amazing. You're like, I think I would like some buttered toast right now. And then you're like, okay, maybe I'll walk outside for 5 minutes. Okay, isn't it nice? I need some more buttered toast now. I do.
Sounds like it. But also doing exercise, I found personally, is a bit of an appetite suppressant. So I think that's something that we should keep in mind as well. If you find eating too much, go and do an hour's exercise and you might not actually want to eat that much.
Right. I mean, and you tend to, when you work that hard, you're like, I burned like 600 or 700 calories just now. I'd really like just to kind of, and you like to kind of see, all right, I burned this many calories. I don't really want to eat 2,000 calories because it did really good today. So there's a little bit of morale there too.
Yeah.
Do you get like the endorphins high from the exercise?
Yeah, it feels really good. And there is like some pain relief as well and stuff. So
I do too. I get like the endorphin high a lot. And I'm like, oh my God, I feel amazing. Even though I want to puke like while I'm exercising after like a really hard workout, I'm like, wee. I'm just like soaring. And I forget that I feel that great. And that, but I know how hard I push myself. So trying to muster up the energy to say, okay, I'm just going to push really hard. And then my brain goes, but you have all these other things you could be doing right now.
Yeah, damn you, brain. I remember the last time I did a really decent workout, I couldn't walk properly for 3 days.
Oh
It
my
was,
gosh.
I honestly could not walk at all. It was
Mm.
the worst. And so I'm like, all right, I'm going to have to do this again. I haven't exercised since.
Oh gosh. Ah, yeah. I have I have something that might actually make you pretty mad. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
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 So there's something that's called healthy wage. Have you heard about this?
I think you sent me a message about that. Is that where you actually basically bet on how much weight you can lose?
Yes.
Ah, yes. So it's a financial motivation.
Yes. So it's been around for about a year now. Um and so you pay like a certain amount of money each month. And
Hmm.
you have to verify your weight before and after, and they're going to give you a prize, and you can pick what kind of prize that you want. You can get up to $10,000
Hmm.
from that, but you're still paying a lot of freaking money in order to get that prize.
Yeah.
And if you don't lose the weight, too bad.
Hmm.
You don't get your money back. You don't get any of that.
Hmm.
So I mean, they have all these success stories and stuff. So I clicked on this and I was going through and like, okay, and it takes you through the motions of picking what you want your prize to be. Let's say if we wanted to lose 30 pounds, how long do you want to take to reach your goal? Let's say we take 10 months.
So 30 pounds is 13 kilograms. I
Um,
have a kilo to pound converter. I knew this was going to have to happen
so you can pick,
because metric.
let's see, so you have to pick a prize range. Changing the your prize range. So let's see. We can go down. You can win up to $250 if you want to pay more per month. If you let's see how much you got to pay a month in order to get that $10,000. I'm just curious. Where yet? And we're at 260, 75, 300. What if I put in $500? We'll say
Per month.
550. So if
Per
you
month.
yeah, per month.
Jesus.
So if I put in $550 per month and I said in months to lose 30 pounds, then I can have between 5,884 and $6,220. So all I'm doing is getting my money back with like a couple $100.
Yeah, that's a lot of money on the line. What if it's like $20 per month?
Okay. If it's $20 per month and you want to lose 30 pounds in 10 months, you get your money back with about $18. Best case scenario, $500.
Yeah. Why is there a range?
I'm not certain why there's a range. Let's see. Let's look at the official rules. I found this pretty interesting because I was looking at rules. I contacted them once because I asked them at one point, what if somebody doesn't know that they have a medical condition and they've been doing the healthy wage, do they get their money back? They didn't have much to say. So they put a disclaimer in. Talk to your doctor any medical issues. Make sure you consult your doctor regarding any medical issues that may impact your readiness or ability to lose weight in the challenge.
Yeah, because in America everyone can go and see a doctor.
Right. The
But what if it comes up? Like, what if it's an undiagnosed disorder
exactly. Too
during?
bad. too bad to your doctor first.
But what if you did actually talk to your doctor first?
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think they've had an issue like that yet. I don't know that they've had an issue yet. Here, I thought this was interesting. No bodybuilders, trainers, or other professional athletes. So if you're a bodybuilder, well, that's the thing. If you're a bodybuilder or a professional athlete and you've won any kind of money at all, you're not allowed to get involved with Healthy Wage because that means you could be successful, right?
But what if you were like a bodybuilder 15 years ago and now you're just a fat slob?
15 years ago should be okay. It can't be within the last 5 years.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so no person, whether or not she has earned money from any of the above activities, may win a healthy wager unless it is her intention to permanently lose weight. Like any person who intends to regain some or all of the weight lost in a healthy wager is not eligible to win the healthy wager. How are they going to prove that?
Yeah.
How are they going to prove that? That's what I want to know. How are they going to prove that?
They wouldn't be able to.
No, they wouldn't. And it's irritating. So the other thing is if you need more time, you can pay for more time, but you don't get an increase in your prize.
Right. So basically, it's a scam.
Yes.
Sounds about right.
And they make your failure.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like capitalism at all.
No, it doesn't. So it's quite irritating. I actually was pretty mad about that. And I thought, they're just trash. That's just trash.
Yes.
I don't know.
You are correct.
Going on in the chat. Let's see.
In the chat. So we've got yeah, me too. There we go. So we've got Not Joe Whitney, the rules of the game, which is something I've also been curious about. But Giant Butthole is really helping out with that.
For Streamlabs, yeah, there's different games you can play on the Streamlabs points. Oh, goodness. I'm trying to see. Mm-hmm.
Aunt Jo says, this reminds me of the Ayurvedic. How do you say that word? I've seen it.
Ayurvedic.
Possibly. Yeah, practice of determining people's diets using Pitta, Dosha, Vata, and another one, I think.
Ah. Yeah. You know, what does my chakra say that I need?
Yeah.
Aura. What color is my aura today? Do I eat more fruits or do I stick mostly to veggies or chicken?
I think you're orange today. You're orange. Yeah. I'm seeing an orange. Yeah.
What is orange good or bad? And do I need to counter that with something that's white like cauliflower?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Just a decent bit of exercise every day or so, says Pocus Focus. I agree with that. I do need to get back to strength training though, because I miss having my guns. I would have to have a license to carry my previous guns, man.
So. One of the things that I was told is that go to the gym every day. Just walk in the gym every day. Even if you don't do any exercise, even if you're on the bike for 5 minutes, at least go to the gym every day.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I go to the gym every day at some. And I walk right by the treadmill and all my weights, and I'm like, there they are. I see you, and I know you're saying words to me.
and they're very judgmental words as well, aren't they?
They are. They're like, you know, you got a little bit of shake. You gonna go get some fries with that shake there, lady? You got some shake going on as you're walking by. Stephen Bauman's on Facebook. What's up, man? So it's just, it's frustrating. So I'm going to try to do more exercise. I'm going to start that tomorrow. Like I say, every week on Sunday. I'm going to start that tomorrow. So I think tomorrow I'm going to try to walk a little bit in the morning. Just walk on my treadmill, drinking some coffee. Maybe I'll watch TV or something.
Mm.
And I think at least that gets me moving. And I feel like I'm doing something. But I also
Yeah.
like going outside too. And the mosquitoes are still bad right now. That's not fun.
Yeah. No, I don't like mosquitoes. I mean, they didn't used to bother me so much, but I went for a walk down by the river and got attacked by midgets. I think I probably had about 15 bites on one leg or something ridiculous like that. And ever since then, mosquito bites have been significantly worse. So I think I must have had an allergic reaction, and now, haha, I know this protein. It's like, fuck you.
Oh, gosh. Hey,
Yes.
brain bug, what's up?
Hey.
So, yeah, I hate mosquito bites. And I'll be spraying myself down with the off stuff, the DEET, not even, it's some DEET. And then I have the candles because I like to work outside. I like to take like my laptop and go and work outside a bit, get a little sunshine, have a nice backyard. I'm like, okay, I'm going to sit out here. And then the mosquitoes are like, it's supper time. He's back out here again. Oh my gosh. I'm like, oh Lord.
You just need to walk outside in a wetsuit. I mean, that won't be particularly uncomfortable, but at least it won't be edible.
Right. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
But that would be so uncomfortable doing work in a wetsuit.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Anywho, so I have
Back to what we're talking about.
I have another new gadget that's come out. It's called Lumen, Lumen. And what breathe in it just like it did now. And it's supposed to let you know if your body is metabolizing sugar, like carbs, or fats. So it does like the oxygen exchange. It does a bit of that respiration oxygen exchange.
What? Okay, I'm not a new, like, I didn't do metabolism at uni, and from what I heard, that was a particularly good idea. But I just thought that you just metabolize sugar, and then fat gets converted into sugar.
Yeah, fat can get converted into sugar, and sugar can get converted into fat.
Yeah, I thought you just metabolized sugar, and then fat just turned into sugar. There might be some byproducts, obviously, but
right. Well,
I thought that's how it worked. I could be wrong.
Essentially, it's measuring the amount of CO2 that you blow out.
Okay.
And if you have a high CO2 amount, then you're burning carbs. If you have a low CO2 amount, then you're burning fat. And so you're supposed to breathe through this. Like if you're working out or and it lets you know, okay, you should be eating less carbs right now so you can burn more fat.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah. The paper that they have, okay, so what they're trying to do is compare it to RER, which is the respiratory exchange things that you can get done in like the hospital or a doctor's office or something like that. Based on a small study, it's not peer reviewed. And there's a lot of, if you have a good lung capacity, have an effect on how much CO2 you're expelling out of your lungs. You're going to breathe that out with, water and stuff. So the paper that it was scientifically validated. Take that with a grain of salt because it's not peer reviewed, and it was a particular university that was brought on. I think it was San Francisco. I'm trying to see if I can find. Oh, here we go. Here's the validation studies.
Okay. When you say scientifically validated and you said take it with a grain of salt, I think you're being nice. I would say probably more like an iceberg sized, possibly polar ice cap sized.
So this is okay. So particularly interesting is they treat this and they do it just like you would see in a traditional peer reviewed journal, but it's not in a peer reviewed journal. They just did a little quick, hey, let's just do this for fun at San Francisco State University. The objective was to evaluate the validity of a novel handheld device for measuring metabolic fuel utilization in healthy young adults. So if you're a healthy young adult, they can't possibly do this with anybody who's already overweight, or trying to lose weight. So,
or age of 65,
right?
Or
so they had 33 participants.
Oh, that's a huge N value.
It's massive. Round in their 20s. Around 20.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a huge cross section of the population as well. Yep. Seeing no problems with this study at all.
Measurements were rest in two conditions: fasting and after consuming 150 grams of glucose in order to determine changes in metabolic fuel. So they took these. How many times did they take these readings?
Yeah, because there's always, everyone is either just had a Coke. Yep, sure. That's exactly how everybody works.
That's right. So it's just, it's how many times it doesn't say how many times they took these readings. This is nice, I guess. This one, okay, here's a different one. And this was, I don't know which group they're with. Okay. The objective: compare the estimated changes in metabolic fuel usage using lumen versus the gold standard metabolic cart method. Yeah, that's the R. Okay, so this one, they did Institution of 2000. Oh, no, Institution 2, 2018. I'm sorry. I thought that I got excited for a second. No, this one is 54 people. Their RAR using the gold standard and then the lumen device. They drank a high carb shake and both measurements were taken again after 90 minutes and 180 minutes. Did they do this just once?
Possibly.
And that's nice and all, but then how old were these people? And so there's so many questions here. And so were they the same, are they the same type of individuals? Are they relatively healthy? Are they in their 20s? The that one is peer reviewed for the RAR that you use in hospitals and stuff like that. That's different. And this time, the metabolic cart method is time consuming, can take up to 40 minutes, probably because it's accurate. I'm just saying. So I don't know. I just 16 lumen. I'm gonna stop talking. I have no words.
Yes, no, it seems like a highly scientific, well-researched, peer-reviewed article that a lot of science in it, because science.
Yeah. See, we had scientists do things with lots of people, and they said they did the tests, and nobody else peer-reviewed it. We don't know how many times they did the test, but the data they gave us looks really nice, and that's the one we just decided to go with, is these here. It's not a proper article. They didn't talk about potential issues. They didn't talk need for more research. There's nothing there. Except look at these shiny results we got. Isn't that convenient?
Pretty. I love it.
And that particular device is almost $400, by the way.
What?
$100. It's like $360 or $390, something like that.
That's incredible.
I know, it's irritating. It's crazy. We got somebody else in the chat. BSOB, diets are easy. Just try meth. I don't want my teeth to dissolve, BSOB. I don't feel like choking on my teeth juice. That was not cool. I appreciate your thoughts. Let's see. The sarcasm is strong with Nervardia, I believe, according to Aunt Jur.
Me? Sarcastic?
She's going to do a GoFundMe. She's going to do a GoFundMe for the lumen. And so y'all just give her like 4 and breathe on camera for you and say, look.
It doesn't work. So can you actually explain how do we
lose weight?
Yeah, what's the chemical? Because as I said, I haven't done metabolism, but do you know the metabolic pathways to lose weight, or is that just like way out of your pay grade?
It's a bit out of my pay grade, but it's not that much different than, your cycle, like the citric acid cycle and the respiration cycle. And the fact is, the way you're fat, there is some ties to family history. And so it really comes to trying to sort out what works for you and having the patience to do that. So even if you have genetic predispositions to diabetes, stroke, heart problems, you can counter that by eating the foods that would be indicative as if you had. So heart attack runs in my family, morbid obesity does, arthritis, diabetes so much, but stroke, all of the ugly things, and heart disease, high blood pressure. I don't have any of those things. It'd be really hard to not turn on those genes, I guess. But certain genes are on because I can't fit in certain jeans now. There you go. Baby got back. Stretchy pants are my jam. So it comes down to you have to build some muscle if you're wanting to boost your metabolism, as they say. Build more of the cells that have the most mitochondria. What are those? Muscle cells.
Muscles. And liver cells. But you can't exactly build your liver, unfortunately.
Yeah, can't do that. But you can build your muscle. And so navigating a good, you have to incorporate weights into that. As far as high calorie burn, cardio is going to be your best bet for that in order to maintain muscle mass and to continuously burn even when you're sleeping. Need to have the muscle mass and maintain that. And that's essentially how you can do it that way. But you have to eat less than what you burn. And so you can do basal metabolic rate. It's going to be kind of average, shot in the dark kind of thing about how many calories you burn based on your age, etc., your height. But if you're really wanting to science the shit out of it, you can lower your simple sugar intake, can focus on lower fats, and if you do incorporate fat in your diet, choose better fats like plant-based oils and olive oils and things like that. I like butter, that's plant-based oils, so it doesn't have the hydrogenated fats and the trans fats and all of that in there. So, and if you can get it as minimally processed as possible, then you don't have all the extra preservatives in there. You can get, I like it, and some people have a hard time keeping fresh vegetables. Get frozen ones. Just get you some frozen vegetables and cook those. You could eat a whole bag of vegetables and it'll be like 100 calories. And just eat the whole freaking thing. If you're like, I can't eat salad, then get you a big bag of like frozen vegetables. Put a little soy sauce on there. Not, the lower sodium kind. Get off the sodas if you can. Get off the sodas if you can. If you really like soda, get some seltzer water and get you some sugar-free syrups. And then make yourself Italian
squeeze
sodas.
Lemon in that.
Yeah.
It's a really nice alternative. Is squeeze a little bit of lemon in it. Or you can have soda lime bitters. you go out and you want to drink a soft drink, have a soda, lime and bitters. It's beautiful. It's really, really lovely. So, yeah.
I like a good diet soda every once in a while, but I'm trying to cut back on that. So I've been in where I'm at, we have a lot of iced tea. And so I've been making a bit more of the iced tea, and I'll add a little bit of Splenda to it. I prefer Splenda, sucralose, over all of the other sweeteners because of the fact it's made from sugar. It's the same chemical formula as sugar, except it's in a different shape and it has an added chlorine to it. So it doesn't actually fit in our enzymes. So it has no caloric value.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I use that, and so I'll make me a bit of tea, make me some iced tea, and I'll put like a Splenda flavored syrup in there. I can put peach, I could put raspberry. Sometimes I'll even get the diet cranberry juice. Put that in my sweet tea and drink that. I even got a little thing here up my desk, and it says, "Oh, for fuck's sake, drink your effing water." And it keeps me up with that, because that's the thing. You really do need to stay hydrated. Every single reaction in your body happens in a pool of water, so you have to keep water coming in.
If you're dehydrated, you are going to lose weight a lot slower.
That is true. So what do you think? Should we do the This Week in BS weight challenge?
I think so. Okay, I really think so, because I need to lose this weight. I miss my clothing. I really do. So I think we should do a This Week in BS. I need someone to kick me up the ass.
Do you want to do like a 30-day challenge where we do one particular exercise each day?
Yes.
So
or a exercise of some description.
An exercise of some description. Okay. Yeah. We can do
that. All right. We can do that.
I forgot to tell you what thing I bought off of Facebook that I actually kind of like.
Please tell me.
It's called Stealth Game Your Core.
Okay.
It actually is pretty cool. Particularly if you like apps on your phone, like game apps. And so this is what it is. It's like doing a plank. So let me pull this up. It's like doing a plank, but it's on like a joint swivel thing to where you can kind of move around side to side, and you put your phone in the middle, and it has like different games that you can play. And so you have to.
Okay.
And it's actually, I know it's like you can get one for $100, but I really like it. I do actually like it, because I used to do a lot of, I used to do like a solid 2 minute, around around 2.5 minute plank. Used to do that. And so this actually, you got several options for games, and you can go, and you can be like, it's got bike ones, it's got space ones, it's got all kinds of different things that you can play. And so it makes it not like, oh my God, the countdown, 5 more seconds, I'm gonna die. It's just like, I gotta go over here and go through this ring over here. Okay, I'm gonna go. So it makes it less tedious, to where you don't feel like you're killing yourself.
Okay, cool.
I actually do like this one, and this was my Facebook buy.
Okay, because that reminds me of that thing that I was telling you about with the ab swing thing, and I'm like, oh God, please don't hurt your back, because that kind of looks like a thing that would hurt your back, personally.
Yeah, you would think so. As long as you keep the thing is, you have to maintain a good form, and if you can't do your toes yet, you can get on your knees.
Yeah.
And do it that way, and build up strength until you can get on your toes. But this is just you can also do it with just your hands out instead of on your arms. So if you haven't developed that strength yet, you can go out with your hands. And they're actually kind of cool. They have like little free Facebook workouts that they go live. And they're like, okay, let's get our stealths out. I'm like, I haven't done this yet. And they get, and it's people of all sizes. They have people of all kinds of sizes that'll be popping up. Okay, it's my turn to do the Facebook Live. So we're going to do this together. And I'm like, she's so cute. Look at her. She's so excited about doing her stealth. And so it's so nice to just see different body types represented. And that's something that I just enjoyed there. So I thought, why not talk about something positive that I've seen?
So you do that and you're enjoying it.
I am enjoying it. I think it's cool. And there's lots of different games you can choose from. And,
I did see that Pocus Focus says coconut oil raises your bad cholesterol. And coconut oil is not that great for you, actually.
Yeah.
So hang on, let's see if I can figure out. So coconut oil. Was it dietary? Nutrition diet facts. Nutrition.
Okay.
Nutritional information. There we go. Versus butter. Okay, so this is from foodstruct.com. I will flick this to you in Twitter.
Okay.
Yep. So one of the things with coconut oil is that it has similar, not the same, it's still better for you than butter, but they've got similar fat content. So so coconut oil has high amounts of saturated fatty acids at 62 grams per 100 grams, which is 410% of the daily recommended value. In addition to this, coconut oil is considered to be one of the oils that have remarkable amounts of trans fats.
Geez.
Yeah. Similar to butter, coconut oil is negligible in its carbohydrate content. Butter is considered among foods that contain high amounts of vitamin A at 2,500 UI. I think that's units of intake or something, isn't it? Can't remember.
Yeah, I think so. I didn't get the link on Twitter.
Oh, didn't you? Did I not press it? No, it failed to send. Okay. Okay.
Plant-based oils, yes. I think also we do need to consider some plants are not good for us. So coconut oil, I don't know if I would consider that a plant. That's more of a nut, isn't it?
Well, is it not going? Oh, hang on. There we go. I don't know why. Okay, I've linked it to you right now.
Yay! I'm pulling it up.
So it's not much different in regards to butter in regards to how healthy it is. So it says here, however, if coconut oil is not consumed in moderate amounts, 2 to 3 tablespoons a day at most, it increases the risk of high LDL concentrations in the blood. Yeah.
So it is a plant-based oil.
It is a plant-based oil, but it is not as, it is more or less roughly the same in regards to butter for health. So yeah, just be aware of that.
The trans fats, that's pretty scary.
Trans fats are horrible. And
they're
you should
really,
not have
really bad for you because they stack. They stack really well, and they have pointed ends, and those pointed ends can like get stuck in your blood vessels. And since they have their shape allows them to stack really well, so when they start stacking, they can actually clog your blood vessels pretty rapidly.
Yeah. There's also another one from Harvard. health.harvard.edu, so it's probably fairly good quality information.
Mm.
Is that coconut oil is about 90% saturated fat, which is a higher percentage than butter, which is about 64% saturated fat, beef fat 40%, or even lard, which is also 40%.
I have to say, coconut oil is fantastic for my hair, though. Not if I eat it, but if I smear it in there, man, it's great.
Coconut oil is fantastic for hydration of the skin, that sort of stuff. It's also it is better to cook with, because it has because the shape of coconut oil versus olive oil. So olive oil is really, really good to pour on your salads and things like that. It's actually really good for you and healthy for you. But as soon as you cook it, it starts hydrolyzing the oil due to the heat will cause the hydrogen to start attaching to the olive oil, and then it actually gets really bad for you. The difference between olive oil and coconut oil is that coconut oil has that sort of hydrogenization is not as easy on coconut oil. So for cooking, you're better off using that than olive oil. But better ones would be like vegetable oil or castor oil or something like that. Is also I've been told is better for you to cook with. So yeah, that's one of the things. Coconut oil is okay if you want to use it for baking or something, like for raw food baking, because it does work as like a bit like butter does in the fact that once it cools down, it solidifies. So the higher the temperature an oil solidifies that in, the more saturated fats is. And the reason why we know this is because a saturated fat has more hydrogens on it. So if it's a fat is basically like a molecule, if going back, I think it was like it's just like a hydroxyl group, isn't it?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, it's a hydroxyl group with a carbon chain. And so if the less hydrogens, the more double bonds in the carbon chain causes a kink, which means that rather than it looking like that, if it's got a double bond, it goes and then kinks up. And with those kinks, it's harder for them to stack, and that's why it's all fluid.
Right.
So the more hydrogens in that chain, the less kinks, and therefore the
easy stacking.
Easier it is to stack, and when it stacks, it becomes solid. So that's why on a cool day, your coconut oil will be solid in your cupboard, but your olive oil isn't.
Right.
And it's that stacking that causes the health problems.
Fair enough. Oh my goodness. Titan sent me something on my Discord server. I need to be more active there, but I'll add that to my list of things to do. Said check the news channel, so I'll pull that up really quickly. On Science News. All right, where we got that?
And Titan, Giant Butthole also says, right, that's why you never reuse cooking oil, olive oil especially. Yeah, never reuse cooking oil. Because of that hydrogenization, which causes it to become a saturated fat. Right.
So there's some new COVID research. I will check that out soon, Titan. Thank you for that. So, so I thought we could talk about a couple of other products. Have you heard about Cool Sculpting?
I think so. From what I understand, it's also complete bunk.
Well, there's some science associated with that, where there is an FDA regulated thing. It's It's called cool sculpting is like the lay person's term, but it's cryopolis or something like that. It's kind of like a liposuction, except you're using extreme cold. There are some side effects, and there does seem to be some benefits to it over a period of time. It can reduce the cryolipolysis. Sorry. Cryolipolysis. So it's like liposuction, except it basically freezes the fat cells and causes them to die. And then they go away and they kind of drop off. I guess your body excrete. I don't know. Does your body purge fat cells or does it go to the spleen? See, I'm not certain on how that works.
I do know that once you have a fat cell, it doesn't go away.
Right. And you tend to have the same amount. They just get larger. That's all they do. They shrink and get larger.
They shrink and get larger, but once they get to a certain level, they go, oh, I'll split. If going back, I've heard so many conflicting stories, so I could be totally wrong because this is all cutting edge science, and the problem with nutritional science is that so many people are trying to sell shit that you cannot trust things.
Right.
So, but from what I do understand, I could be totally wrong. So always go and check this yourself. Is that once your fat cells get to a certain size, they split and then they grow again. But if you lose weight, a cell doesn't die. It just shrinks down, which is why once you've lost the weight, it's so easy to get back. And one of the easiest way to have long-term fat reduction is actually to get those fat cells permanently removed through liposuction, or as you're saying, cryosuction.
Yes.
Or
cryolipolysis.
Cryolipolysis. Yeah.
Yes. And this is they've developed it for small areas and larger areas. You can get it in a certified clinic, but it usually takes multiple treatments. Adverse effects are pain, erythema, bruising, numbness, but that tends to resolve in a few days.
What's erythema?
I think that has to. Well, let's just look it up. Let's just look it up right off. I can't remember right off. Erythema. You have edema and then you have erythema. It's reddening of the skin. That's all that is. Patches. Okay. Reddening of the skin, guys. I forgot. That's okay. And so it's, less expensive and less invasive than surgical. But results are seen within 12 weeks, but long-term effects are unknown. So we don't know, how long it lasts. But apparently it does work a little bit. And you can get it at a license from a licensed physician or, spa or whatever. But they do try to sell products like this through Amazon, and all it is they're people just putting ice on their bodies.
Right.
That's not the same.
Might not be too bad for me coming up because, in October we're coming towards, we're halfway through spring. So
oh my goodness.
Yeah, pretty hot coming up.
Yeah. Maybe that'd be cool. But the whole idea is that you gotta get it cold enough to where the skin doesn't get any kind of frostbite. But the fat cells, so they found a way to freeze the fat cells, and they freeze at a apparently higher temperature than like the muscles do and skin cells and that sort of thing. So they're able to kind of go through and do it that way, which I thought that was interesting, but I don't know if I have the money, and I would rather just lose as much weight as I can and then be like, okay, let me go and get my fat frozen. This is why people give up on healthy diets. The rules are confusing. They are, Andrew, and they're different for each person. That's the problem.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of just finagling and figuring out what's working for you. And the patience to do that is really, it just is frustrating.
Yeah. So for somebody like for me, if I want to lose weight, I stop eating wheat, which is works really, really well for me if I could just remember to stop eating wheat, and chicken and salad. That's basically, if I wanted to lose weight, that's how I would do it.
Yeah. I have to eat
But
minimally processed foods, like
yeah,
straight out of the ground and wash it and eat it that way, usually. Which means no really nice pumpkin spice cereal bars and
yeah.
no pie. God. No cake.
Mm.
I really like cake.
I like chocolate. Chocolate's my thing.
Oh, I have a hack for chocolate. I have a hack for
Ooh.
chocolate. Okay, so I feel like I don't eat a whole lot of fruits, but I'll eat like a lot of berries because certain fruits have a lot of sugar. And, I'm trying to not eat too much sugar. But strawberries, oh my gosh, strawberries and blueberries and those types of things. I'll get some cocoa powder or cacao or whatever you want to use. And I'll sprinkle it onto the strawberries. And then I'll cover it with a little bit of Splenda. And then I get me some of the low calorie whipped cream. And I'll put that on there. And then it's like I can get my chocolate
Nice.
while eating berries. And the strawberries, they have so much fiber and they fill you up. And then you get in the whipped cream in there. So it feels like you're eating something really nice, So I like that. That's a nice hack for that, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
My mum bought me a thing that you put your frozen bananas in, and it makes like an ice cream. So you put your frozen bananas and then maybe like some strawberries and some,
Oh,
and it makes an ice cream, and it's really, really, really tasty.
that's nice.
Yeah, I strongly recommend those.
Okay, so I'll get like some of my berries. Sometimes I'll get frozen. And then I'll get that and I'll put it in like a little blender thingy with a little bit of like almond milk or something, add a little bit of vanilla and some Splenda, and then I'll just blend it and it's like I'm having a smoothie, but it's like all berries, like
Nice.
raspberries, strawberries, blueberries, and it's got a little bit of the almond milk in there and it's like the low sugar, super high protein. And I'm like, but then we're drinking our calories, but I feel like that's kind of worth it though.
Yeah, no, you don't drink your calories. But if you get those meal replacement shakes, they tend to help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then after I want to drink a meal replacement shake while I'm eating something.
Yeah, no, I have that problem too. It's hard. It's easy to forget that, no, this is actually what you're supposed to have for breakfast.
Like, you drink this for breakfast? There's nothing else?
It's a bit... Yeah.
An air fryer. I have one of those too. I have an air fryer. I like it. It works pretty well, actually. I don't know. I like it a lot. I've taken chicken breasts and I've soaked them in pickle juice because people are like, well, I love Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A, that, like, guys, you don't have to eat at Chick-fil-A. They're bigoted. They're anti-LGBTQIA people. Don't eat there. Just get you some chicken breasts, throw it in a bag, like a plastic bag with pickle juice, and let it brine in that in your refrigerator for about a day. And then you grill it. That's literally it. That's how they make their freaking chicken. I know this because I used to work there. It will taste the same. And then you just add your sliced pickles on there. Eat it however you want. Tastes the exact same. You can even do an air fryer version to where you can fry the chicken that way. Coating it, put a little egg wash on it, a little bit of flour with some seasoning in it, and pop it in your air fryer. That's a great way to do it. Spray it down with some cooking spray.
Sounds tasty.
That's pretty good.
One of my things that I like to do is just get a whole heap of vegetables, cut them up, I usually have a base of eggplant and mushrooms, and just cook them up using water. And then right at the end, put a tablespoon of hummus and a handful of centimeter size cube cheese, and mix it up until the cheese, it's kind of melted but not completely, so there's like chunks of cheese. Oh, beautiful.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Strongly recommend it.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I've been cooking so much at home. I've been trying, instead of doing like noodles, I've been doing the zucchini noodles. Because you can get spiralized zucchini noodles, and I'll mix in a bit of like ground turkey, and I'll cook that with some diced tomatoes. That I like the canned tomatoes because they're more flavorful because they've been sitting in the tomato juice for a while, and there's herbs and stuff. And oh God, fresh onions. I'll saute some fresh onions and fresh garlic, and then I'll cook the ground turkey in that, and then I toss in the can of tomatoes, and then I add it to my zucchini noodles, put a little Parmesan cheese on the top. Oh, that's so good.
It sounds delicious.
I already had dinner. I can't eat anymore today. I had that for lunch, though. It was amazing. Oh, gosh. I guess we should check the chat again. I make pear vinegar with champagne yeast, extra acidic, and use that to brine chicken before baking, says Titan.
Nice.
That
baked chicken is beautiful.
Yep. But I want cookies and cream milkshake and waffle fries. That's the struggle, focus, isn't it? That's the struggle. Oh, goodness. Let's see. Yeah, the fats. Yeah, the conversation about fats, it tends to be really hard to kind of follow sometimes. If you're ultimately, when it comes right down to it, the fats that you want to consume are the ones that are liquid at room temperature.
Yeah.
Those are the ones you want to consume, are the ones that are liquid at room temperature. Because the ones that are solid, the ones that are solid at room temperature, they're going to form more globules in your blood, and you don't really want that. At least the ones that are liquid at room temperature are going to be way better for you because of just the nature of the shape of the molecules. That's what we're trying to say. Liquid at room temperature.
Yeah. I can't remember. Is the longer the tail, the better, or the shorter the tail? I can't remember. I think it's the longer the tail.
I think the longer the tail, and that there's as many double bonds as possible.
Yeah.
As many double bonds as possible, because it makes these interesting shapes that kind of go around to where it's too hard. They can't stack on. They don't stack like Legos. I have Legos right here, actually. Saturated fats are like a really, really, really long Lego. All right. Oh, this is when I was making a dock cam out of Legos because I needed to one day. Saturated fats are like Legos. All right. So they're like bricks. They're like really easy to connect together bricks. And so this is what happens with saturated fats in your blood. They kind of connect together. And so you end up with these big old blocks of like fat going through your blood vessels. And this is how we get those clogged up. Now, if you were talking about an unsaturated fat, they're not flat like this.
Yeah, so
they make like all kinds of crazy shapes like this. Yeah. This would be like one. Yeah. Make a shape like that.
Try stacking something like this on top of itself.
Right, exactly. It
just doesn't work.
It's like a funky shape. So every time you have a double bond, it goes off in a different direction. And so, so you can have something like that, and then you can have something like this. And so, I mean, something like that's not going to stack so easy. But every time you have a double bond, it goes off in a different direction. And so that's what we mean by unsaturated fats. It's not saturated with a bunch of hydrogens. So it's, like not straight across.
Yeah. And heating a double bond is more likely to break it, which is why hydrogen is more likely to join on to make the double bond into a single bond.
Right.
Yeah.
That's all that was. Nacha, Mel, play Lego with me. What we building? I can build a cell. I can make it, and then I can label this is my. If it's a plant cell, that will work the best because it's a square, and I can do the cell wall and everything. And like here's a chloroplast, and they'll all be square. We'll do it by color. I'm that nerd. Oh my goodness. So we've been going an hour and a half.
Oh really? This has been a good day.
This has been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So guys, don't spend a lot of money on stuff. Just keep the best statistic. The best thing that you can do is keep up with what you eat. Just write it down. You can get an app if you want. There are various apps that you can do to kind of track what you eat. I have a Fitbit. You can get a pretty inexpensive Fitbit that keeps up with how much you walk in a day, but this one is a bit more fancy. It keeps up with my heart rate, so it lets me know how many calories I burn. Also has GPS on it, so if I ever leave the house someday when the Rona is over,
if that ever happens,
I never know. So I can do that, and it keeps track of how far I go. So, but the thing that I like about it is it does also have an app with it to where I can go through and put in my food, and it keeps up with my fat content, my carbohydrate content. It keeps up with all of that. And so I'm able to go through and kind of track my habits. It even keeps up with my oxygen saturation if I want to.
Nice.
That's a new thing. Woo. I'm normal, guys. So and it also can keep track of any heart trends that you have. So that's just cool. But they do have, they're a lot cheaper than that freaking Lumen crap, let me tell you. And it gives you way more information, and it helps you.
Can you give me a moment? I think someone's ringing my doorbell.
Sure. So they run different prices. I've been pretty happy with my Fitbit for the most part. I need to use it more for exercise, but I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it quite a bit. Let me see. We're going to make cells, Nacha. Woohoo! Let's see. Lego is the best. It's warm in here. I'm going to turn my fan on. Did you get... Let's see if she got a package. We'll see if... Did you get a package?
No, I was hearing things apparently.
That's all right. So do you have anything to add? I guess we should probably wrap this up. What's coming up on your channel? Tell us what's going on.
Dr. Carl is coming on Friday morning, my time. Yay! Which is really exciting. So Dr. Carl is basically the Australian version of Bill Nye. So he's been on my channel once before, and we're also going to have another person on, another Australian. His name is Matthew, and he's also known as Almost a Doctor. He's a very, very, very lovely guy. So
thank you for the super chat. Oh, sorry.
The Quiet Gorilla was on my channel yesterday, by the way.
Oh, so. Sweet. I will send this here instead of using it to buy saturated fats. Good call, Quiet Gorilla. We will tell you how amazing you are and that you're doing a good job.
Yes.
So, Dr. Carl, Friday morning, check out Nervardia with Dr. Carl. What are you going to talk about?
Thursday night, your time.
Yes.
Pretty much everything. He is one of those people where you're like, I want to ask you a question, and he'll go, blah. That makes sense. He's really, really good. If you've got a question about science, if you've got anything like that, please come, just think about what a question you want to ask, and we will ask him.
That's awesome. I'm so excited for you. I know you've been totally stoked.
I am. I'm absolutely like
oh my gosh.
Yeah, so he's really, really exciting to have on. So
That is awesome. Yay! I'm so excited for you. What do you want to talk about next week on the show?
I don't know. I haven't thought about that.
I haven't either.
Yeah.
Guys, be certain to spam Nervardia's Twitter
No.
mentions with everything you want us to talk about next Sunday. We avoided politics this week.
Which is a miracle.
It is. We avoided politics this week. Yeah, which there was a lot of that happening, and we just didn't talk about it at all. We just talked about being fat.
Yeah, which seems to be a fairly normal thing for
everyone,
people,
and that's okay.
For everyone at the moment. For most people, some people have been able to lose weight.
Yes, and that's okay. And you know what? If you're happy in your body, I am happy for you as well. If you don't feel like you need to lose weight, then don't lose weight. Don't let anybody shame you for who you are. So we're not telling people to lose weight on this.
No.
Okay.
No.
We are not doing that.
But if you do want to lose weight, don't listen to fads.
No. And Facebook is wrong most of the time, if not all of the time.
Yes.
Don't do that. Oh, and if you do want to lose weight, check out Robert Reed on Twitter. He's actually a trainer, and he's done some sessions with me, and he made me extremely tired, and I thought I was going to puke once.
He is an evil man.
He's really good. And I meant, I had to do a meeting for work, and I'm not complaining about that. I like what I do, and I like my job, and I'm happy I have it. I get to do a lot of really cool stuff. But it was like I had to have a meeting, an impromptu meeting that popped up at a time that I'd scheduled with him for him to wear me out again. And he's just like, he's good, guys. So I'm gonna throw that out there. Robert Reed.
And he's also a sweetheart as well.
He is.
He's an absolute sweetheart.
He's really nice, and he does work hard for people. So I default to his expertise on exercise. He's been doing that 20 some odd years. So I'm gonna say he's an expert in that. So
yeah.
Oh my goodness. So yeah. So I don't have anything else. I guess now I'm able to do events again on Facebook for some reason. I couldn't do it yesterday to post it. So I guess we'll just sort out what we're gonna do, and then I'll just put up This Week in BS events maybe in Saturday, and let me know what you guys want me to talk about on Saturday. I go through and I just comb through science news and we talk about that, which is great. But if there's a specific topic, let me know. And don't forget, I have to show this to you. You're gonna like this. I'm going to start my own open education resources called Masterclass. And we're starting with general chemistry. I'm going to just go through an entire 2 semesters worth of general chemistry, college chemistry. And I will be using openstacks.org for their textbook. And so everybody has access to that textbook. It's something that you all will be able to access, and I'll be going through and using that textbook and generating coursework, basically videos exclusively for General Chemistry 1 and General Chemistry 2 concepts. And it will be on my channel here. It'll be pre-recorded videos, so you'll check that out. So here we go. Let's have a look with this. Woohoo! So that'll be
awesome.
Mel's masterclass for chemistry, and then we'll move on to other topics. But technically, I can only teach college chemistry, but I'll get other people to weigh in who can say, yeah, this is fine.
Chemistry is awesome.
It is. It is. Chemistry is awesome.
I might be biased, though. I am doing chem major.
Good for you.
It is very cool.
Awesome. It is cool. So keep your eyes open for that. And please do subscribe to Nervardia. All of her links are in the description. You can find all of her stuff on her channel. She does amazing science work. If you like what I do,
please come for at least Friday. I cannot tell you Friday. So
Friday.
That's 10 o'clock my time, which is like half an hour earlier than what we started today.
Yeah, so that'd be 7 p.m. Central, 8 Eastern on Thursday night. So go check out Dr. Carl on Nervardia's channel.
Yes, and bring all your science questions. Bring them all.
Bring all the science questions.
Every single one of them.
All of them. Just start a list now. And do all of them. What level are the courses? They will be college level at first for general chemistry 1 and 2, but they'll be easy to follow. I'll also do introductory chemistry classes as well. And I will branch into biology and other things like that, but I will, since I don't have a postgraduate degree in biology, I will be weighing in and having other professors kind of check the stuff and make certain, but it'll all be through that. But it'll be easy to follow. Trust me. I got you. All right. Well, any last thoughts before we sign off, Nervardia?
Not really. Just take care of yourself. You know, always double check and triple check everything, please. Mm-hmm. Check your biases, you know, all that. Yeah, so
keep confirmation bias in check. And if you feel like you need any kind of medical advice, go to a doctor, not us.
No, do not at all talk to me about medical advice at all.
Go to your doctor. Yeah. Don't talk to me about medical advice. I will just say, go to your doctor.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys next Sunday. Have a great night and morning where Nervardia is in the land that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.